Ask any Michael Jackson fan which tour was his best and you'll start a war. Some will say the bad tour. Some will swear by Dangerous. Others will fight you to the death defending His Story. But here's the thing, most fans are basing their opinion on nostalgia, personal memories, or whichever tour they happen to see live. They're not looking at the actual evidence. Today, we're settling this debate once and for all. We're breaking down every major Michael Jackson tour, analyzing the vocals, the dancing, the production, the set list, and the cultural impact. And we're revealing which tour was objectively the best, even if it's not the one you think. Drop your ranking in the comments below. Tell me which tour you think is the best and why. Let's have a respectful but passionate debate in the comments. Fair warning, this video is gonna make some people angry, but the truth matters more than feelings. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, let's establish which tours we're comparing. Michael Jackson had 3 major solo world tours. The Bad World Tour, 1987 to 1989. 123 shows across 15 countries. Over 4.5 million fans. The Dangerous World Tour, 1992 to 1993. 69 shows across 27 countries. Originally planned for more, but cut short due to health issues and allegations. The History World Tour, 1996 to 1997. 82 shows across 35 countries, the largest tour in terms of production scale. Now, some fans will argue that the Victory Tour or the Triumph Tour with the Jacksons should be included. But those weren't solo tours, and Michael himself said he didn't have full creative control. So we're leaving them out. We're also not including This Is It rehearsals because, well, it never happened. So it's Bad, Dangerous, and History. 3 legendary tours, 3 different eras of Michael Jackson, but only one can be the best. Let's break them down. Let's start with the Bad World Tour, which ran from 1987 to 1989. This was Michael at the peak of his physical abilities. He was 28 to 30 years old during this tour. His voice was incredible. His dancing was sharp, powerful, and relentless. His energy was through the roof. The vocals. The Bad Tour has some of the best live vocals Michael ever delivered. Go watch the Wembley performance from July 16, 1988. His voice on The Way You Make Me Feel, Human Nature, and She's Out of My Life is absolutely stunning. Clear, powerful, controlled. Michael wasn't relying heavily on backing tracks during this era. He was singing live for the majority of the show, which is insane considering how physically demanding the choreography was. The dancing. This is where the Bad Tour really shines. Michael's moves during this era were incredibly precise. The spins were faster. The footwork was cleaner. The energy was explosive. Watch the Smooth Criminal performance. Watch Bad. Watch Billie Jean. This is Michael Jackson in his absolute prime as a dancer. The Bad Tour production was impressive for its time, but relatively simple compared to what came later. No massive mechanical structures, no toaster entrance, just Michael, his dancers, some pyrotechnics, and incredible stage presence. Some fans see this as a weakness, but others argue it's a strength. The focus was entirely on Michael's talent, not on gimmicks. The set list. The Bad Tour set list was solid. A good mix of Jackson 5 classics, off-the-wall hits, thriller bangers, and bad tracks. Fans gotta hear Wanna Be Starting Something, Human Nature, Smooth Criminal, Billie Jean, Beat It, and more. But here's the problem, the set list was a bit bloated with slower ballads. I Just Can't Stop Loving You and She's Out of My Life are beautiful songs, but they kill the momentum of what should be a high-energy concert. The verdict on Bad Tour, peak vocals, peak dancing. But the production was less ambitious than what came later, and the set list had some pacing issues. It's a strong contender. But is it the best? Let's keep going. Next up, the Dangerous World Tour from 1992 to 1993. This tour was supposed to be the biggest thing Michael had ever done, and in many ways it was. But it was also plagued with problems. The production. Let's start with the obvious. The Dangerous Tour had the most spectacular production of any Michael Jackson tour up to that point. The toaster entrance where Michael rose from beneath the stage in a rocket-like structure. The pyrotechnics during Black or White. The military-inspired costumes. The massive video screens. This was the tour where Michael proved he wasn't just a performer, he was a showman on a scale that had never been seen before. The dancing. Here's where things get complicated. Michael was 33 to 34 years old during this tour. He was still an incredible dancer, but if you compare the footage side by side with the Bad Tour, you can see a slight decline. The moves are still sharp. The choreography is still impressive, but he's not moving quite as fast. The spins aren't quite as numerous. The energy, while still high, isn't quite at the Bad Tour level. That said, Michael compensated by making his performances more theatrical, more dramatic, more about presence than raw physicality. The vocals. This is where the Dangerous Tour starts to show cracks. Michael's voice was still good, but he was relying more heavily on backing tracks and lip syncing during this tour. Songs like Billie Jean, Black or White, and parts of Dangerous were clearly lip-synced or heavily backed by pre-recorded vocals. Why? A few reasons. The production was more demanding. The choreography was more elaborate. And some reports suggest Michael was dealing with health issues even before the tour was cut short. Go watch the Bucharest concert from October 1st, 1992. It's an incredible show, but it's clear that Michael is conserving his voice in ways he didn't have to during the bad tour. The Dangerous Tour set list was excellent. Heavy on the Dangerous album tracks, Jam, Black or White, Dangerous, Remember the Time, but also included classics like Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller. The pacing was better than the bad tour. The slower ballads were strategically placed to give Michael a break without killing the momentum. The problems: the Dangerous Tour was cut short. Michael canceled the final leg due to health issues related to prescription medication dependency. The tour that was supposed to solidify his dominance ended in controversy and concern. Does that disqualify it from being the best? Some fans say yes. Others say the shows that did happen were so incredible that it doesn't matter. The verdict on Dangerous Tour: best production, great set list, but declining vocals and the fact that it was cut short are major points against it. Strong contender. But let's look at the final option. Finally, we have the History World Tour from 1996 to 1997. This tour happened during the most controversial period of Michael's life. The 1993 allegations, the Bashir documentary backlash, the media circus. Everything was working against him. But when Michael stepped on that stage, none of it mattered. The production, the History Tour production, was absolutely massive. This was Michael going full spectacle. The toaster entrance was even more elaborate than the Dangerous version. The military imagery, the giant screen showing propaganda-style videos, the sheer scale of everything. Some fans love it. Others think it was too much, that Michael was hiding behind production instead of letting his talent speak for itself. The dancing, Michael was 37 to 38 years old during this tour, and honestly, it shows. He's still good. He's still Michael Jackson. But the speed isn't there. The power isn't there. There are moments where he looks tired or in pain. He compensates by making his performances more about attitude and presence. The "I'm the king and you will respect me" energy is at its peak during his story. But in terms of raw dancing ability, this is his weakest tour. The vocals, the History Tour was almost entirely lip-synced or backed by pre-recorded vocals. Very few songs feature significant live singing. You Are Not Alone, Heal the World, and parts of I Just Can't Stop Loving You have some live vocals, but the majority of the show is playback. Michael was reportedly dealing with vocal strain, health issues, and the physical demands of the tour, so the decision was made to rely on tracks. Some fans are okay with this. Others see it as a betrayal of what live performance should be. The setlist, the History setlist, was heavy on the History album tracks. Scream, They Don't Care About Us, Stranger in Moscow, Earth Song. But it also included the classics Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller, Black or White. The pacing was excellent. The emotional arc of the show was perfectly crafted. And the addition of Earth Song as a massive theatrical moment was stunning. The context. The History Tour happened at a time when Michael needed to prove he was still the king. And in many ways he did. The tour was a commercial success. Fans showed up in massive numbers. The show sold out. But it was also clear that Michael was struggling. The joy that was present in the bad tour was gone. This was a man fighting to maintain his throne, not a man celebrating his reign. The verdict on History Tour: biggest production, great set list, but weakest vocals and weakest dancing. The spectacle was incredible, but the core performance was diminished. But which tour was the best? Let's break it down by category. Vocals, bad tour wins, no contest. Dancing, bad tour wins. Peak physical performance. Production, Dangerous Tour wins. The perfect balance of spectacle and performance. Set list, Dangerous Tour wins. Better pacing, better energy. Cultural impact, History Tour wins. Largest scale, most countries, biggest statement. Overall performance quality, bad tour wins. So here's the answer, and yes, diehard fans are going to argue with me. The Bad World Tour is objectively Michael Jackson's best tour. Why? Because at the end of the day, a concert is about the performance. It's about the artist connecting with the audience through their talent. And the Bad Tour is where Michael's talent was at its absolute peak. His voice was incredible. His dancing was unmatched. His energy was limitless. Yes, the production was simpler than later tours, but that simplicity forced Michael to rely on his raw ability, and his raw ability was more than enough. The Dangerous Tour had better production, but the vocals suffered. The History Tour had massive scale, but the performance suffered. The Bad Tour had the best balance of everything that matters. Now, does that mean it's everyone's favorite? No. Personal preference matters. If you saw the Dangerous Tour live and it changed your life, then for you, that's the best tour. If the History Tour's theatrical drama speaks to you, then that's your answer. But if we're looking at objective measures of vocal performance, dance execution, and overall artistic quality, the Bad World Tour is the answer. But here's the twist. There's one Michael Jackson performance that might actually be better than any full tour, The Motown 25 performance on March 25th, 1983. 5 minutes, one song, no elaborate production. Just Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, and the moonwalk that changed music history forever. That performance had more impact than entire tours. It made Michael a global superstar. It's the most iconic performance in music history. So if we're talking about single greatest moment, Motown 25 wins. But if we're talking about sustained excellence over an entire tour, Bad World Tour is the answer. So there it is. Michael Jackson's best tour revealed, the Bad World Tour. Peak vocals, peak dancing, peak Michael Jackson. I know some of you are furious right now. I know Dangerous fans are ready to fight. I know S3 fans think I'm crazy, and that's okay. That's what makes this debate so fun. Drop your ranking in the comments below. Tell me which tour you think is the best and why. Let's have a respectful but passionate debate in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, even if you disagree with my conclusion, smash that like button and subscribe to King of Pop for more deep dives into Michael Jackson's legendary career. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. The King of Pop forever, no matter which tour you prefer. Peace.